if I love
Did you like
him.
Colin's History of the World thing?
I did not see it.
Do you
but
like
I
Colin? You love
I
Colin.
love Colin
Yeah,
Quinn.
we adore
Love.
Colin.
So
Don't make a big deal out of it. Everyone's listening. The only reason he brought that up is so he can act all magnanimous and then do a stupid impression of me.
Not so fast, Mohr.
No, I love him. Couldn't love him anymore.
That's why the thing about stand-ups that fascinates me is like I just watched Patton Oswalt's special, and that's a guy that's been like an indie guy pretty much for as long as he's been, carrying the weight. But then all of a sudden he's on fucking Showtime, and as Barry Katz, an early podcast goes, you got to pick the biggest possible moment to be the fucking greatest you could be, man. And Patton's Showtime special, I'm like, this guy's all of a sudden, like, he just went up to the top of the charts for me. Did you see his special?
No, but he's a great comic, so that would make sense.
But I only saw him, like, in independent, like, uncab rooms and, like, upright citizen brigades with, like, notes. And to suddenly see him, it's fucking great.
No, he's an excellent comedian.
He was talking, all right, sell that.
No. I mean,
he's fucking great. Huh?
I didn't mean to sound like that.
Russell Brand?
I love. I'd never seen him do stand up. I think he's really charismatic, and I met him, and I thought like,
in interviews, he like fascinates me.
Yeah,
I think he's like the smartest guy any of us have ever met.
He might be, but stand up wise, I've never seen him. I don't know.
My wife wanted me.
She's great.
To thank you. Say, and Marla's great also. I remember from the country school, the pancake breakfast. Your 7 kids and my 1 boy. At the
7 kids. Go ahead. What did your wife say?
She said, make sure you tell Jeff. She said, ask Jeff Garlin, did he want to be a comic or an actor first?
That's a good question.
You wanted to be an actor, but at 8 you wanted to be a comic because you saw Jimmy Durante.
I sort of like lost my way of that comedian thing, went into like focus more on being an actor. And then in college I was studying theater and film, and I dropped out to become a comic.
Where'd you go to college?
University of Miami.
You really?
Yeah.
Hurricanes.
Yeah,
Gangster. I knew you was gangster, Jeff Garlin. I knew you was gangster. You was there with Warren Sapp. Warren Sapp is your biological father.
Warren Sapp almost beat me up.
Bernie Kosar is your uncle.
Yeah. I went there the same time as Bernie Kosar and Jim Kelly.
Wow.
Yeah. But in an airport, Warren Sapp almost beat me up.
What did you say to him?
No,
He knew you were in the Jewish mafia.
No. It's not worth what I said to him, but it was shocking to me that he wanted to fight me.
He's a crazy person.
It seems like it.
Yeah, but I'm trying to get him for the podcast, so we love him.
Whatever.
Fuck him. He put his hands on you, he's fucking dead to me.
He never touched me.
Let me tell you, if I see him on the fucking street, like I never have yet.
He threatened me in the airport only like 2 years ago.
That's too Why?
Isn't that weird?
And did you say like, hey, Warren?
No, he thought that I was saying shit about him. Not like in my act, but like right there in the moment. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Am I an idiot? And then I'm walking by going, you're a douche. What have I... And I didn't say anything.
Tipping him back?
I don't know what his story was, but he wanted to fight me.
Where were you in the airport?
We were waiting by our gate.
Hudson News?
And then ironically, he was sitting behind me on the flight the whole flight.
That's uncomfortable.
After that.
All-pro defensive tackle, just fucking mouth breathing in your ear for 5 hours.
Well, he didn't say anything to me.
How about I eat your cornbread?
But he was not nice.
So my wife asked me to ask you comic or actor first.
Mm-hmm.
She asked me to ask you...
Ty on that one. Go ahead.
Okay. How you hooked up with Larry David. And she will want... This, we're bringing it on home, people, okay? The greatest comedy show she has ever seen. And my wife's seen a lot of comedy. She doesn't just fuck comics. She marries them. Fucking, she goes back...
That sounds like an ad for her.
She goes back to back, man.
Yeah.
Santa Monica Improv, in front of about 15 people doing improv, taking requests from the audience, and a homeless man dressed as a clown walked on stage. Do you remember this?
You understand? This seems like any night for me. It really does.
She was a child. She was like 14, 13 years old, and her mom took her, like, bred her to, like, be with comics, like, raised her like veal.
Then why did she hook up with me if it was that great of a show?
Because Marla, Marla was out there in the stars waiting for you, man, to make those beautiful babies.
That's correct.
She saw you at the Improv in Santa Monica. There was 12 people in the audience, and she goes, I was just on the phone when her driving here, and she goes, but the thing that was crazy, he wasn't like doing a bit like Jeff Garlin on stage, like, hey, everybody, how you doing? Where you go, whoa, what the fuck? Like, you're literally going, all right, I need a job. Pro bowler. And where am I? You're at it's the video store. And like a fucking homeless guy walks in, like, which is odd enough, to take the stage. But he was like a clown, obviously off duty. And he walked on stage and just took the mic and didn't talk. And she said you just, like, the audience didn't know if he was going to kill you, if he was like your fucking, your teller. Penn and Teller. I just spit on you, sorry. But she said that was the single most bizarre, fascinating comedic moment of her entire life.
That is
to which
hysterical.
I replied, you've seen 40,000 hours of my stand-up. Thanks a lot.
Well, that's just a.
No,
but you know
I'm
what's really funny? That he is one of maybe 3 or 4 homeless people who've come on stage when I performed. I remember a guy came up on stage who announced to everyone that he just lost his job, and I had the audience throw money at him. And
at
they
him.
did at him, like dollar bills. So it came like a raining dollar bills.
Where was this?
That was at the Improv in Pacific Beach.
Pacific Beach. I didn't know.
San Diego.
Oh.
Yeah.
Should have been in like Calgary
and then
where they're throwing loonies and toonies, bouncing them off his skull.
What's that?
I wish it was in Canada, so they had like those $2 coins, just bouncing them off his skull.
But I'm sure that I included him in my act, the clown, the homeless clown. Man,
Homeless bum mime clown is how the exact phrasing was homeless bum mime clown. And I said, so there's a clown.
That's awesome, but to me it seems very familiar, but that's normal.
But doesn't that fascinate you guys that Jeff doesn't go, holy shit, let me tell you about that night? Like, this guy's been on the road, hoofing it, ham and egging it for 29 years, that a homeless bum mime clown taking the mic out of his hands, he goes, which one?
And I'm not kidding when I
know
say
you're not.
that.
They know you're not.
I mean, there's been at least, I'd say 3 or 4, at least, maybe a half dozen homeless situations on stage. But I've had so many. I've had a woman walk up naked a few times. I've had, I mean, all that shit has happened to me. Different people coming up sometimes I'll say to people, like, I remember one night I did a half hour on the movie Patch Adams. Before
I lost Keanu Reeves. I auditioned for the Keanu Reeves part.
I never saw it, so I don't even know what part that is. But
fucking Keanu Reeves part.
But the point being is, I did a half hour.
I said that exactly like Nick Swartz in the movie.
But wait, you know what's interesting though? Is the interesting fact about it is I did a half hour in Patch Adams before it came out, when those billboards infiltrated Los Angeles with the fucking cancerous hand going out for the red nose. And that was like, they were everywhere. And I did a half hour of, oh gosh, thank you.
Scared the shit out of me.
See how calm I was? I'm used to it.
Fucking. For those of you listening, a delightful waitress came and just refilled Jeff's water over his right shoulder. I jumped like fucking Mick Jagger at Altamont. And Jeff just stayed like the fucking Siddhartha, like didn't even move. Enlightened. You knew that she was one with this. When sitting, sit. When standing, stand. Above all, never wobble.
How long have we been up here for?
I know, I'm trying to end on a fucking laugh, but you're talking about cancerous hands.
Well, it's Patch Adams. But I did a half hour on Patch Adams, and I told people that night, I said, please in the future tell me you were at the Patch Adams show, because this will never happen again. And it never did. I didn't do a half hour Patch Adams chunk. You know, it wasn't like something I was like, I'm going to all do Patch Adams all the time now. People love it. But it was a crazy ass show, all Patch Adams. Anyhow, point being is, like, once a year someone will come up to me and go, I was at the Patch Adams show. And I fucking love that.
That's funny. You should see the movie. It's really nice. Robin Williams is like this doctor, but he doesn't like play by the rules. You guys are terrific. We love you.
Thank you.
See you soon. Thank you.
Find more funny shit like this at smodcast.com.
I love
Did you like
him.
Colin's History of the World thing?
I did not see it.
Do you
but
like
I
Colin?
love,
You love
I
Colin.
love Colin
Yeah,
Quinn.
we adore
Love.
Colin.
So
Don't make a big deal out of it. You know. No way. Everyone's listening. The only reason he brought that up is so he can act all magnanimous and then do a stupid impression of me.
Not so fast, Mohr.
No, I love.
And to suddenly see him, you didn't. Oh, it's fucking great.
Oh, he's an excellent comedian.
He was talking. He's all right. Sell that.
No. I mean,
Yeah,
I,
he's fucking great. Huh?
I didn't mean to sound like that. He
Russell
knows
Brand?
I love. I'd never seen him do stand up. I think he's really charismatic, and I met him, and I thought like, oh, this
In
dude's
interviews,
really-
he like fascinates me.
Yeah.
Cass goes, "You got to pick the biggest possible moment to be the fucking greatest you could be, man." And Patton's Showtime special, I'm like, this guy's all of a sudden like he just went up to the top of the charts for me. Did you see his special?
No, but he's a great comic, so that would make.
But
sense.
I only saw him like in independent, like uncabbed rooms and like upright citizen brigades with like notes.
I love him. Couldn't love him anymore.
That's why the thing about stand-ups that fascinates me is like I just watched Patton Oswalt's special,
Uh-huh.
and that's a guy that's been like an indie guy pretty much for as long as he's been, carrying the weight. But then all of a sudden he's on fucking Showtime, and as Barry Katz, an early podcast,
Yeah.
I think he's like the smartest guy any of us have ever met.
He might be, but stand-up wise, I've never seen him. I don't know.
My wife wanted me.
She's great.
To thank you. Say, and Marla's great also. I remember from the country school, the pancake breakfast. Your 7 kids and my one boy.